Welcome back everyone, and welcome to another Day 0 of Girl Power builds. Today we have Mina Ashido III, a character that a lot of people are kind of iffy on. I'm real excited about her, so let's dive into it. She's a 6 hand size, 29 health character. Her character traits are 1A and Student. She has the Death, Void, and Water symbols, and I've chosen to go with a Death build today. So, she has a static that says after your ranged or slam attack deals damage, your rival loses 1 health. This is allowed to reduce them to 0, and as a static, that means it goes off even if she's committed. Speaking of committing, she has an enhanced commit, remove 2 face-down cards from your card pool, your rival destroys a ready foundation. So, she's kind of tricky. A lot of people are going to fly more to Mina II with her support, but let's see what we can do with Mina III, on her own. We have Acid Splash. This is her Ultra. It's a 0 for 5. It's got Deflect 2. All of these attacks are going to have the ranged or slam keywords. I think they all have ranged. You can spend a momentum to destroy 1 rival foundation. You get to choose. That's really solid. And you can flip a card in your card pool. This attack gets X speed. X equals the printed difficulty of that card. And we'll see some pretty cool attacks we can do this with, and maybe even a foundation or 2. So all in all, 0 for 5, but can become much faster and give you the tools to blow up one of your rival's foundations, or ready foundations, while spending a momentum to selectively destroy likely a ready foundation. We have Acid Sprinkler. This is a good card to flip with Acid Splash, because as a 5 difficulty, it can make you a 5 low for 5. This is a 6 mid for 4 that gives your next attack plus 2 speed. And if it deals damage, your rival discards 1 card, or they may destroy 1 foundation to cancel this ability. I love abilities like this, discard a card or lose a foundation. It's really tight, putting your rival in a difficult spot as to what they want to do. Likely they will choose to destroy a committed foundation, but hey, that's less foundations they have on their turn if you don't kill them to try to kill you back. And at 6 speed, it's usually going to hit. I like this one, Lizard Tail Splitter. It's a 3 mid for 4. It's got Deadlock Echo, so if somehow they get to 11 foundations, you have Echo on this card. And it says Enhance, discard a card. Your rival adds 1 card from their hand to their card pool face up. Each player draws a card. So you discard a card, they add a card to their card pool, you both draw. And that pretty much is like a free +1 speed on all of your future attacks after this. And then if they're in the deadlock, you get to echo this card, it becomes face down, and you can remove it with Ashido III's Enhance to then destroy a ready foundation, so that they have cards in their card pool, and they lose their ready resources. So all of your attacks are going to hit, burning this extra 1 damage each time. So like your 4 damage moves are actually 5 damage if they get through. Your 5s are 6, stuff like that. Really, really solid. Then we have her secret rare, Acid Screen. This says that face-down cards don't count towards progressive difficulty to play this card, both as a block and as an attack, which is really cool. It's got Deflect 4 to help keep you alive. It's a 4 high for 7, and it says Enhance, if there is a face-down card in either player's card pool, draw 1 card. So you're usually going to want to do it after you flipped something with Acid Splash or echoed something. You can play this, draw a card, the face-down card doesn't count towards progressive, and then you can flip cards and just go from there. Then we have Instant Shining Flash. This is one of the reprinted cards. It's a 4 high for 4. It's got a 1 low block, which is really nice. It says response, after you play this card, your rival spends a momentum, so momentum hate. And then you can flip a foundation to have the next card you try to play this turn get -1 difficulty. So playing your 4s on 3s, or your 5s as 4s is really, really good. So it's a good way to keep extending your string and hopefully get a little damage in there as well. And lastly, I chose Decaying Palm Slam. This is a really solid foundation that says you discard a momentum, choose 3 rival foundations. They cannot commit those cards to pass checks for the rest of the turn. So if you have a momentum and you don't want to focus on the removing 2 face-down cards from your card pool, you can just keep your cards face up and say those 3 foundations, you're not allowed to commit them. So usually you would choose something like 3 face-down ready foundations, and then your rival has to commit their good foundations in order to defend themselves. And lastly, you can make them try to check a 6, and if they fail, this card gets to remove itself after it resolves, so not clogging your card pool. But even if they do choose to pass that, you can play Acid Splash, flip this to give your Acid Splash 6 speed, so it's 6 low for 5, which is really, really good, especially when they then have 3 foundations they cannot use to pass their checks for the rest of the turn. We have no assets. Action-wise, we have Showdown, because it's one of the best blocks in the game right now. You block it, your rival commits 2 foundations, and it can also cancel actions by committing 2 of your own foundations, so you can cancel a rival Showdown by playing this as a response from your hand. A lot of people forget about that second one, but it's something that can really come in clutch. It could also stop stuff like Barrier Shield and the Mineta one, Runaway, which is really good. For our foundations, we have Always Cool. This is a really solid defensive piece. You can destroy it so that a rival's attack's damage cannot be modified. But as an enhance, you can add it to your card pool, build the top 2 cards of your deck. So you trade 1 foundation for 2, and then if you flip this with something like an Acid Splash to give, 2 speed, that card is face down. So the static that says it cannot leave your card pool doesn't apply, and you can use Mina to remove it. So you basically got 2 foundations for free, which is really, really cool. I like using this kind of ability with like Mirko. So to have another character that can use this offensive way to just build more foundations is really solid. We have Cheerful Teen. This says it can draw you a card if your rival's foundations are destroyed, and then you can flip it to have both players add the top card of the deck to their card pool face down, so card pool clogging, and if your rival's foundations are destroyed, you can draw a card. Really good piece for her. And of course you have to have 4 Maximum Viscosity, which is just a response speed. If your attack deals damage, your rival loses a health, ranged or slam attack, of course. But that just means if any of these attacks in Mina 3 hit, then they're losing 1 health from Mina and 1 health for each copy of Maximum Viscosity, and all of these effects can reduce your rival to 0, which is nuts, which is insane. Then we've got Protecting Friends. You can add it to your card pool face down from your stage for -5 speed. So that's a really good way to get cards face down in your card pool in order to defensively commit to remove 2 face downs and force your rival to destroy a ready foundation on their turn. Because Mina doesn't just have to commit on your turn. She can do that on your rival's turn as well. So you can Cheerful Teen to disrupt, give -5 speed, and then commit to force them to destroy a ready foundation while clearing your card pool, and then blocking something that's at -5 speed. Are you up or are you down, sir? Pick one. Come on. Come on. Yeah, come on. There you go. Say hi, Sam. So, yeah, I like to think of using Mina, her enhanced defensively, on my rival's turn after I've put a few face-down cards in my card pool in order to deal with my rival's foundations on their turn. Then we have Ready to Go, which readies itself after your rival loses health. Solid. Disrespectful Banter. This destroys itself and forces your rival to destroy a face-up foundation, and your attack will get X damage, X equals the block modifier of the destroyed foundation. So usually they're going to be destroying a 1 if they have it, maybe usually a 2. So 2 damage, but they do have to destroy a face-up foundation. No destroying face-downs. So again, clearing them of their good, useful foundations is really good. Fighting for Control, just defensive check hacking to make your rival's turn a little bit harder. Prank War, which can destroy itself to destroy a rival foundation that flips itself as a cost, or if they flip a foundation as a cost. So again, winning this foundation war by destroying their foundations as they try to use them. Botan's Coaching is just good draw, good card cycle. Keiko's Aid is as we're destroying our rivals' foundations, just makes it harder for them to continue their attack strings. Syndicate Target is just a really good spam foundation. It's a 0 low block, it's a 6 check. Sure, you lose a health when you play it, but that's fine. Breakdancing. This is an absolute must. 4 of. It's Breaker 1, it's got the student enhance, you can flip to discard a face down card from your card pool. Who cares, we're Mina II, or Mina III. And once per turn for each of these, you can add the top card of your deck to your card pool face down to give an attack plus or minus 2 speed. So again, putting face down cards in our card pool on our rival's turn, and then removing them with Mina to blow up one of their ready foundations defensively on their turn while giving minus speed to make sure we can block more efficiently. Really, really solid. Red Rights, the coolest, is just here as a spam that as a committed foundation can give damage. Food is really cool. If your rival has no cards in their card pool, your attack gets +1 speed. So if they're unable to block that first one, like an Acid Sprinkler or a Decaying Palm Slam, because we boosted it with food, deals damage, Mina goes off, burns them more, maximum viscosity, burns them more, or we can flip to remove a non-attack card in our rival's card pool and gain 2 health. So if they block with an action or an asset or a foundation, we can remove that. Sure, they get 1 less card in their card pool, but we get to gain critically needed health if necessary. Maul Day is fun. We can add it from our stage to our card pool face down after we check an attack to add that attack to our hand. Especially good if we've checked an acid screen, because then this face down card will not count towards the progressive to play it. Struggling with Studies, just to pick up more cards on defense, especially if it's a card we've added to our card pool with Breakdancing or Protecting Friends, Cheerful Teen. If we didn't want to use Mina, we could flip this to pick up an attack, a card if it's our rival's 3rd or greater attack, and it helps protect our more important foundations from being flipped. More Speed Hate with Surviving the Final, just a good Speed Hate spam. And finally, Spooky, which can commit after you've given something -5 speed. You can flip the speed and damage, so if you push that speed into the negative, that thing's now a negative damage move, and you don't have to worry about it too much. So, really solid on that. Just a fun, cheeky one-of to kind of disrupt your rival. And that is it. Pretty simple. Like I said, I like the idea of loading some face-down cards into our card pool on our rival's turn to force them to destroy ready foundations on their turn, and then possibly on our kill turn, if we're pushing through, being able to do it on our turn again. So over the course of 1 turn cycle of our rivals and then ours, they lose 2 ready foundations on top of any other foundations that they lose due to our effects or are unable to commit due to Decaying Palm Slam, and really just trying to control our rival's stage as much as possible to guarantee all of this extra burn that's going to be coming through with Mina and maximum viscosity. And heaven forbid these cards in Retro or My Hero Spotlight, when you can also use, Keen Observation. After your rival loses health due to an effect, flip it, they lose 1 extra health. The Shigaraki 1 Foundation. My Hero Spotlight format is probably going to be dominated by Mina II. Maybe that's a hot take, but considering all of the burn she has access to, all of these new cards, all of her own cards, and some Shigaraki cards that are also ranged and or slam, is just really, really scary. So what do you guys think? Are you on the bandwagon of who needs Mina III when you have Mina II? Or are you like me and you think she fills her own little niche that's pretty cool? I like to think there's no such thing as a bad character. I know that's wrong, because I've seen Anya Forger. Sorry, Spy Family fans. But she's not that great. Camera's tilted. But, yeah. I like her. I think that she's going to be fun to play with and see if we can get her off the ground. Do you think Death is the way to go with this foundation control, or are you more akin to a water control person trying to stuff the card pool as much as possible? Or maybe do you have some fun void tech? Maybe some way to discard cards from your rival's hand so that all of your attacks will do damage and constantly get all this extra burn off. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.